Welcome to Monique's Mondays. I'm Nique the Invoice.
And I'm Monique Elliott, your host. And at this time, I want to welcome our guests and our studio audience. And I want to say thank you for being here and supporting this cause. What is the cause? When we gather together on Monique's Mondays, it's really to magnify the importance of mental health, to look at it from different industries, and to understand that we don't need a stigma behind it anymore. We can talk about it freely. This is a no judgment zone. We can cry. I want you to be honest. I want you to be open about your experience. And so thank you again for joining us.
Okay, we'll start with intros.
My name is Katrine Atlung-Blair. I am a model mom. I'm Emmalise's mom.
Hi, my name is Emmalise Atlung-Blair, and I am a model and model coach, some may say.
Hi, I'm Gilbert. I'm a beauty and style leader for Phoenix Fashion Week, also a hair and makeup artist behind and travel.
Hi, I'm Natasha Kelly, and I manage Taylor Kelly and Brian Kelly.
Hi, I'm Brian Kelly. I am a model for the Young Agency, and I'm going to be a future personal trainer.
Hi, I'm Demetrius Love, and I'm one of the models.
Wonderful. Demetrius, we want to go ahead and start with you, honey.
Okay.
Yes. I want to know what inspired you to get started and be a part of modeling.
Starting out modeling, I always wanted to be a model, but I was playing basketball, so I had to focus on that. Everything is timing. Once I got done, I saw a casting. It was Phoenix Top 40 Fashion Week. I went to that casting. I didn't get casted. It was like the first thing that I ever got casted for, so it was kind of expected, but I'm a competitive person.
Okay.
So I kind of took it personal. I went back the following year.
Yes.
And I got casted. So
come on.
Just staying consistent and being relentless with it, and more so passionate about trying to accomplish something, and been a domino effect since.
I love it. I love that you are consistent and perseverant.
Right.
Right? So you're persevering, and the part of that is you didn't give up.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think that's important for our audience to understand. Sometimes things don't go the way we expect the first time, even the second and third time. But if it's your dream, I want you to keep pursuing it. Don't stop.
That's right.
You're going to get a breakthrough. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, honey, have you ever felt like you didn't want to continue, or this is just not for me right now, or you felt down? Just, I want you to talk real to us.
For starters, I'm an introvert, so just the whole modeling thing is definitely a big challenge for me. But I always have my supporters, helping me, like my mom, making sure I actually can, get to the shoots and actually, do when I'm in front of the camera and different poses and everything. So it's definitely been a challenge also getting the shoots, because sometimes, you're waiting for a long time, and that can definitely be discouraging. So yeah, just waiting, and then just that, but that's about it.
Okay, I love it. So you have that drive in you too.
Yeah.
It sounds like everybody needs that drive if you're in this business. Okay,
Yeah,
I understand. I appreciate it. Thank
Sure.
you. I'd like to hear from you, love. Tell me your experience, and I've heard you've been in this a while.
Yeah, so I've been kind of off and on in it, and then I started getting pretty into it about 3 years ago now. I got scouted in LA at a mall when I was 12 by a modeling agency, and they scouted me, but they did reject me. And it did kind of suck at first, but I kind of learned from it, and I was like, okay, let's try some agencies in the state. So I decided to get signed to a pretty big agency here, and it was going well for a while. I wasn't getting booked for anything, so I was kind of like, confused, like what's going on. But COVID hit, and that kind of hurt the industry a little bit. It kind of shut a lot of things down, and there wasn't a lot of modeling jobs, and I was ultimately let go from my agency. I kind of took a break during COVID. There wasn't a lot like to do. When things started back up, I decided to try out for Top 40
Okay.
Phoenix Fashion Week. Yeah, and that was my first ever casting, and I made it, and it was really great. So from there on out, I kind of just like worked on myself and really focused on that, and I did Top 40 again, and I was just really like pushing, and I had that drive because I really wanted it, you know. So it took a lot of improvements, and like it took a lot of focus on myself, but the program really did help me, and it made me find my passion for modeling. So now I'm signed to a pretty good agency here in Arizona. Yeah, Ford RBA. Thank you. So it's been pretty great, but there is some bumps in the road, but you kind of just have to drive through them and conquer. Yeah.
I love it, hun. Now I want to get down to some nit grit about social media a little bit, and friends and family, because when they see you modeling or when they see a change up in you, does that bother them? Do you get good vibes? Do you get negative energy? What comes with that? Because there's a lot of envy that can happen when you're making it. I'm just going to be real. When you're starting to boom and grow, there are people that don't always applaud. So how do you handle that? How do you not let that get to you too much?
Yeah. It was hard at first for me, actually. I had a lot of friends that didn't like my modeling and would kind of put me down. So it really did take me a while to kind of not be bothered by that. And, I had to kind of leave school because of it, which was really hard. But a lot of my family has been pretty supportive. They kind of didn't see like it being like a serious thing at first. They didn't really understand it. But when they started going to more of my shows and they started going more to my events, they kind of like saw like I had like a fire lit under me, and like I had this like passion for fashion,
Yes.
It just kind of made them realize. But with my friends, it took a really long time for them to understand it and really get a feel for it. It was hard, but I got through it eventually.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, thank
honey.
you.
I'm so glad. So you had your family support. Did you have any special friends that helped you through this as well?
Yeah, actually, I made a lot of friends through modeling and through
Good.
Phoenix Fashion Week Top 40. So a lot of those friends I made really helped me through it because they understood the industry and they understood modeling. So I could talk to them about that and they could, relate to me. So in that aspect, it really did help having those friends that could be there for me and help me through the way. So, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's talk to your mom. What did you think when somebody walked up to your daughter, honey, and said you could be a model?
So it's funny, I actually wasn't with her when she was in LA. She was with her grandparents on her one trip that they take their grandkids on for their 12th birthday. So she called me and she was super ecstatic. And I was like, oh, here we go. Like, ooh. And I think my perspective or my thoughts on the industry, I mean, you see all the things on TV and you hear all the horror stories and you hear all the eating disorders and all the things that can happen, the judgment and things. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's for us as a family or for her. And obviously, as a parent, that I think that's your biggest concern, right? You want to protect your child from all evils in the world, right? Yeah. But we kind of just took a leap of faith, and I've done a lot of research, a lot of talking, have been lucky to have met a lot of really great mentors and people like Gilbert and many other people in the industry that have really helped me understand what's right and what's wrong. We've been really, really lucky. We've only had maybe 2 situations where I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right. But even during like shoots and fashion shows, and then she's been pretty aggressive. She actually is pretty much her own manager. She books on her own stuff and has always been very good at what she wants to do and what image she wants to portray and what book she wants to build. I just kind of monitor and I go with her. She never goes to anything by herself.
Yes.
But I was lucky that I had people in the industry that taught me that as a parent very early on, which I think made it a lot easier for me to be okay with it. And I've, benefited enormously. I mean, not only seeing her growth and her success in the industry has been super cool, but also like I've gotten to know a lot of really, really amazing people throughout the journey too, and gotten my own friends out of the deal because I've been very involved. So a lot of us moms hang out, outside of modeling things, and we'll text each other tips and things, and kind of watch out for each other's kids a little bit, and make sure that one of us are present on set and stuff. I think, and we have something special in Arizona too, I feel like, for the modeling industry. It's not like that. I mean, we've been to LA, and she signed in New York as well. And we've done things with other places in the country, and it doesn't feel quite the same. Like, we definitely have something, I think, special here. And I think everybody here kind of knows each other in the industry too, which makes it a little bit easier because we can kind of watch out for each other. So I think that made it easier for me, not being as nervous and as worried about it,
Yes.
that that you have people watching out for the models too,
That's wonderful. I want us now to get a little more on the subject of keeping your mind, or your mind health, right? Because I can tell, and it's wonderful, most of you are fit. You got it together. All of you are fit. I see that with models. So you have your physical fitness. But how do you keep your mind fit, right? Because we were talking a little earlier, and we're losing people. And I want to say this to our audience. We're losing our young people, and it's hurting us. And we see their smiles, and we see them laughing. We're on social media bragging, and not bragging in a negative way, but just like, hey, look, I'm doing this, I'm here, I'm doing da 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 da. But that's not really always what's happening up front or behind. In other words, behind the scenes, their hearts are breaking, and many people are being bullied online, and situations are happening, and we don't tell each other. And men, I want you to talk to me a little bit. How do you handle this? Because with our men, you're more silent. You're more silent when it comes to things are going on inside of you. Gilbert, talk to us.
For me, I'm lucky that I do have a great support system at home. I have my wife and my kids that do know that this is what I love doing. I'm very passionate about doing hair and makeup, and then I'm very passionate about the lives of these models. Like, I'm surprised at how close I've gotten with them. So they're like a surrogate family to me too. Like, they know that I have their back of anything that's going to happen to them. But what keeps it going, or why I keep doing it, is because it's the passion and the drive, and knowing that this is there's something better for them out there, and there's something better for me as well. I think I lost your question.
No, that's okay. I want to know, how do you express when you're hurting or something's going on? Especially, and I am addressing this to men right now, because not every man, but I have found that men may be more reluctant to really say what they're feeling when it has something to do with them hurting inside.
Definitely.
Okay. So how are you able to express yourself? Because a little bird has been telling me, a couple little birdies, that you don't mind sharing and saying you're hurting or things are bothering you.
I've been lucky that my parents they had me when they were much older, so a lot of that machismo was not passed down to me. I was allowed to express my feelings. I was allowed to cry when I felt hurt or somebody hurt me. So I'm also able to tell that to my kids as well. I want them to know that they're able to come to us whenever they're hurting or whenever they feel hurt. And luckily, like, my friends that are around me and people that I work with, they're okay with that happening, and they don't mind that I do tears. I'm like, I'll cry for anything. If they're happy tears, sad tears, I'm there for it.
That's all right. I'm there for it. Thank you, Gilbert. I'm there for it. All right, brothers.
I think I have a really good support system, including like my mom, my friends, my family, and kind of like how you said, men like to suppress their feelings, and I feel like I'm a victim of that. I used to like really suppress my feelings and not say anything that was wrong, but I just been kind of working on, if there's something wrong, just tell somebody, because you can't. No one can help you if you don't let them know what's wrong.
Yes.
So I just been working on that, and then I've also been very religious ever since I was little. I always go to
Yes.
church every Sunday, every
Yes.
Tuesday. So just reading the Bible
Yes.
and just, praying and preaching to other people always just helps me express my emotions better. And also going to the gym, because I'm very active, very
Okay.
fitness oriented. So just going to the gym is like my domain. So once I step in there, I'm just everything goes out of my head.
Yeah.
I can just focus on what I'm doing, and it just overall helps me feel like much better about myself.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Dee, tell us what it's like, what you've been feeling.
I would say, kind of similar to the things that he just said. I do have a great support system. I was raised by my mother, but I'm the baby of 8. I got 5 sisters, and they they love me so much. So like they love it. Definitely, it helps me. Like I'm one to stay to myself. Like I was suppress my feelings and not really say much, and I'm still kind of the same way. But I find outlets, like as far as thriving in my purpose, whether I'm in the gym or whether I'm working on my modeling, I do music as well, or whether I'm writing songs or whatever, that helps me a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I could talk to somebody, but I feel like writing things down and
Okay.
praying to God, it just relieves a lot that I think that me telling somebody or maybe even therapy couldn't even help.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah. So it's being able to know, all of us to know that there's different ways to express ourselves.
Right.
The main thing is to get it out of here.
That's right.
It's so important to get it out of your mind, because what starts happening, I call it, you just start cycling. The same thoughts just keep going around and around, and it can make you mad almost at
Right.
times, right? And so it's so important that we realize private thoughts still affect the body. The things that we think have an impact literally on the inside of our body, because you can't separate the mind from the physical. We always say, oh, it's okay to go get help if you're physically sick. If you're emotionally not feeling well, it's still going to affect your body. So I want to encourage us, don't do this in silence. And I do appreciate, and it sounds like you have a brother who's also in modeling. Is that
I
correct?
do. Of course, Buttons. Yeah,
Yes,
he
yes.
definitely models as well. A lot of my family's been in the entertainment industry, acting as well.
Yes, and
Yeah,
music,
and
correct?
music, yes, ma'am.
So what I'm saying is you all have a communication system
Oh,
that's,
most definitely.
yes, I've seen y'all in action
Yeah.
with each other, and it's beautiful.
Right, right.
It's beautiful. So at this time, I wanted to ask, what are some of your future aspirations? What are some things coming up, manager mom, that you got ready for your models in your home?
There's always the next thing that's coming up. So Talon has 2 shows this weekend he's in. And then Brian just did his first bridal editorial shoot.
Okay.
Even though he's a fitness model, he stepped out of that, and that was good for him too. Just a lot of networking, and then just kind of keeping my ear to the ground to see what's out there, because there's always something. There's always castings that are coming through.
Oh,
So they
that's
keep
good.
a pretty busy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just me coordinating where they need to be and when they need to be there and what they need to be
Yes.
ready for.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So at this time, Dominique, I want to go ahead and see if we have any questions from our studio audience. Yes.
Thinking. While they think, I do want to address specifically the moms, because I know that we met on set and immediately connected.
Yes.
And I think it's really important that we bring some things to light as far as having that matriarch role and that 50,000 foot view of knowing that we want to keep our babies away from those
Mhm.
evils, but at the same time, the stressors that come with that. So I want us to talk about that a little bit while the audience, they're writing down their questions. We're going to get the index cards. We're very profesh here at Monique's Mondays. But we'll start with Natasha, because I know as far as safety and all of that, I want to definitely touch on that. And I want you to kind of walk us through your process of making sure that mind health, physical health, safety, all of that is, top priority.
Mm-hmm. So I would say, first and foremost, excuse me, from a safety aspect, it's just the introduction piece.
Okay.
And so me being in there, I'm never far away. It could be back over to the left or to the right, but Gilbert knows I'm always there. You're just watching, and even though Taylin is almost 20, Brian's 21, it's just being there to be able to support them, and that way other people also know that I'm there.
That's right.
And then kind of the process is, as they're meeting and introducing people, I have their business cards, I hand out their business cards, I make connections, I introduce myself. My number and information is on the card. That way I'm almost like vetting who they are, is in contact with them.
Yes.
So that I can get to know those people and just make sure it's a safe environment. They never go to shoots by themselves. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's male or female.
This
they
was
shouldn't
good.
be going to
This
shoots
was
by
good.
themselves. And I think that that's what sometimes people don't understand, is they think that it's just females, but it isn't. The males shouldn't do that either. It's just making sure that just keeping them safe. There are predators out there, and you do have to be careful, and you have to be aware, and that is a part of just entertainment, the entertainment industry as a whole. On a positive note, it's just making sure that the introductions are there, having a community too. So even speaking to what Katrine said, everybody knows one another. So there's other moms, there's other models that are around, and just taking care of one another. And that, I think, also speaks to the mental wellness part of it, is having that camaraderie, having those friends, establishing those bonds, building those relationships with others in the industry. That also keeps everybody in a good headspace.
Yes.
Because it's not all work. There's fun things too.
That's good.
And keeping each other positive. One of the most important things with the boys, and I actually say this to all models, it's never no, it's just next opportunity.
Come on now.
That's the first lesson, is understanding that piece, because there will be a lot of no's. And I remember explaining that to, before he got his first booking for Brian, he got a little bit discouraged. And honestly, for being signed for 5 months, he's worked quite a bit for being signed for 5 months. But it's just waiting to get that first yes, and not taking that personally, because it isn't ever personal. Casting director knows what they're looking for. The client knows what they're looking for. And if you don't fit that particular mold, then it wasn't for you, and it's for somebody else. And it's just whatever is the next opportunity that's waiting.
That's wonderful. I love looking at it that way. And that can be applied to anything in life, right? Not just in the entertainment. It's jobs, it's places you want to be in, and you feel your dream is not getting there yet. Just wait, it's coming. That next yes, the yes is coming to you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay.
I was going to ask, how important is such an influential industry like sports, modeling? I think a lot of. Oh, I love it.
A part of being the beauty and style lead for Phoenix Fashion Week, I am like also a model coach for the models, and I always tell them, if you don't feel comfortable, let that voice be heard. Do not just sit there and take it and then do something you're not going to be comfortable with, because it's not going to be the best work. And it's always about you and your brand. So you always want to represent yourself first and foremost. And then once you make that heard to the creative director or whoever is in charge at that set, make sure that it's okay with them as well. Let them know why. There's a reason why you don't want to do that. And I think once both people speak on that, then it should be okay. Because I let them know that I'm okay with you needing to change something because it doesn't fit your brand or doesn't fit something that you're comfortable with. I always want my models to be comfortable.
That's perfect. That's excellent. Well, I want to thank all of my guests for being here on Monique's Monday. And it has been wonderful having you. I thank you for your integrity. I thank you for your honesty. And the word that I kept hearing throughout this whole time was perseverance. I thank you for not putting the brakes on and saying, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm out. I appreciate your efforts, because you just don't know how far you're going to go. You don't know if we keep stopping, right? If we don't go further, you don't know what's over on that side, what's going to happen. And something was said to me earlier this week, and I want you to think about it. People are actually rooting for you. We are told many times, oh, people are jealous. There's some jealous folk, but there are a lot more rooting. They want you to make it, especially your circle. So it's very important what type of people you put around you. You can choose that. There's some people we work for. We don't have to be around them forever, right? But the people you choose to bring into your heart or to your circle, that's on us. So know who you're bringing into your circle, because they're the ones that are rooting and wanting good things to happen. Keep on praying. Keep on meditating. Keep on thinking of those good thoughts. And then after that, we got to get out there and get it. I appreciate you. Thank you all for being with us today. Thank you, studio audience.
What are other hidden talents that you have that we do not know about?
Ooh, that's a good one. Another question from the audience. This is the Monique's Mondays after the Monday. This is Monique on Tuesday. Okay, who wants to go first? Hidden talents.
A hidden talent I have is speed skating. So yeah, so I used to teach kids how to roller skate and rollerblade, and I got into it for a while, but I kind of just like shifted out of it because modeling's been my main focus. But yeah, I did a lot of like speed skating and rollerblading and like rollerblading tricks.
That's dope.
So that's what I was really into for a while.
So shameless plug for I don't know, a rollerblade brand, but you got your girl. Next to her mom, no shame.
Hidden talents. Is sleeping a lot of hidden talent?
Yes, if you still can have a six-pack and sleep, that is
right.
definitely a hidden talent.
Yeah,
So,
probably sleeping a lot and pretty much being able to eat whatever I want and still maintain the six-pack. I think that's pretty.
Remember we were talking about having friends? Like,
Mhm.
do you still
Oh,
want to
yeah.
have friends?
I would say I can draw really well.
Ooh.
I need to utilize it more because I don't draw enough. But growing up, I used to draw a whole lot on the side.
Love that.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, me?
Yeah, we need to know you.
Singing.
Hey.
Hey.
Know that. Know that. If you got a Nick in your name, you could sing. You could sing.
Gilbert. Oh. I don't think I have a hidden talent.
I think that's a lie.
I don't believe that.
I think you're being
Oh,
modest.
well, okay. Well, since you asked, I was a makeup artist. I did that for many years. I forget. It was a long time ago, but that's actually how I got my start in the industry. I was a national makeup artist. I was in cosmetics for years. Had a line of skincare, cosmetics.
Oh, wow.
I don't really talk about that much, but yeah, I've been behind the chair. Yeah.
Oh, we gonna bring it back. Not me
I
getting
did.
goosebumps.
I did models, composite cards. I did all of that stuff before.
I will put you behind the chair.
Now she's gonna have a purpose to be on the set. Now you finna get put to work.
Get
now.
out of that corner.
No, struggling with my eyelashes. You know, right?
then he got a whole person that can help him.
You must have seen me.
Yep, I see right there.
Oh man. So now I can't lie because my wife is in the audience. But I get when I do, I can get down to the kitchen. So my hidden talent is cooking. Yeah. Turkey dinner, I got you.
It's the turkey. I love it.
And I made it for the salon, and every time after I made that chicken, they request it now. Can somebody's birthday's this week? I'm like, no. No, they don't get turkey for their birthday.
Their birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, you must really throw down. They
Yeah.
don't even want no cake. They want the whole turkey.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I don't see. It's hard how we don't know our own. I speak several languages. Yes, born and raised in Denmark, so I speak Danish fluently. I know Swedish, Norwegian, English. I know quite a bit of German, quite a bit of French, a little bit of Chinese. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's got you covered when you travel overseas.
My hidden talent is creating space for transparency, which is why we're all here. And I sang too. But we need her on the world tour. We need everybody on the world tour.
Sure, honey. Paris, here we go.
Yay. September. I'm already going. Yeah. Mhm. Awesome. Well, everybody put your hands together for yourselves and your neighbor. High five your neighbor.